The Nuggets take on the Celtics without Jokić. Are they able to rally a win? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So it was a big game for the Nuggets tonight as they hosted the Boston Celtics, and luck was already not on their side as, in addition to no Aaron Gordon, the Jokić was deemed out due to illness. Some say that he's still celebrating Serbian Christmas. Some say that he's actually ill, those being Malone. Coach Malone. He said that apparently that he wasn't at practice yesterday, and then today he looked too sick that Malone sent him home. Don't know which one is the correct answer because Jokić has at times actually been away, but the last time he was away was when he had his child, and they wouldn't say where he was, and so this time they're actually saying that he's sick. That's the actual reason, because before it was personal reasons, now it's illness. So I'm pretty sure he was actually sick. So we'll go with that for now, and hopefully he gets better because we definitely need him for the coming games. But the starters tonight were Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, and freaking Dario Saric. Man, I'm sure the guy is a nice dude, and he seems nice in all of the videos that they do on social media and everything. But the way he interacts with the team and everything, his skill levels are just not up to the standard that Nuggets basketball needs him at. And he already missed a bunch of games. Now you're putting him in the freaking starting position. Like that, it didn't go well the last time he was in the starting position. It didn't go well this time. The Nuggets were wearing their navy blue jerseys. The Celtics were wearing their white uniforms. And the Celtics cheated their way to a win with final score of 118 to 106. And yes, I said cheated, and we will get into it of why I say it. But man, I hate the Celtics, and this is exactly the kind of shit that I hate about them and their fans. From the start, this game already, Celtics fans were implementing the idea that it was going to be Celtics versus the refs. And it was anything but that. It was actually the flip side of that. So let's get into this game, and then we'll get into stats like normal, and then I'll get my big takeaways at the end there. But let's get into this game first. So the first quarter, right? The game did kick off with the Celtics winning the tap. I mean, obviously, you have Porzingis versus Sarge. Of course, Porzingis is going to win that tap. Porzingis actually, I think, oftentimes wins it even against Jokić. He's a really tall dude, and he has very long arm span. He's kind of like a white Wemby, and so Porzingis actually quickly got the Celtics on the board with a mid-range jumper. Jamal, though, responded with a great three shot for the Nuggets to get actually a little lead quickly, and then followed by MPJ sinking another three to get the Nuggets early 4-point lead. Porzingis and Horford, though, answered back, regaining the edge for Boston with a sharp shooting from beyond the arc. As the quarter progressed, the Celtics capitalized on Nuggets' missed opportunities, highlighted by a three from Pritchard and Tatum's three-point play ballooning the lead up to 12. The Celtics owned the first quarter 37-25. So at this point in the game, it was kind of more or less even-ish, except for that last stretch where the Celtics were actually able to build a strong lead. But I would say actually roughly like the first half was fairly fair as the game went. And you got to give a lot of credit. I mean, losing a quarter by 12 against the Celtics says something about the other team. Like, the Celtics should have already started off with a blowout against us in the first quarter. They only lost by 12. So then we get into the second quarter. The Nuggets opened the quarter with DJ now as the 5. Dario Saric quickly got removed from the game. He played 16 minutes, I think, in this game, and Malone definitely took him out. I think he put him back in a little bit here and there, but he didn't get a lot of minutes, and I'm actually grateful for that. I don't think that the Nuggets would have done nearly as well as they did with him on the floor more, because he was just awful tonight. There was like 1 or 2 assists that he did, but we'll get into stats, and it's not good for him. So DJ, though, started off as the 5 in the second quarter here for offensive rebounds. They started battling it out, and he was able to get the Nuggets 3 consecutive offensive rebounds. And the Nuggets had 3 times to get second chance points in a row, and each time they bricked it, allowing the Celtics to strike first with a quick bucket. PWat, though, responded with sinking a 3 to trim the lead to 11. And then Hauser built it up again, pushing it to 15. And then the Nuggets went on a 6-0 run, capped back-to-back threes from Strawther, and then cut the lead down to 4, which was freaking awesome. Strawther had an amazing night tonight, forcing the Celtics to a timeout. But out of the timeout, the Celtics are able to force a turnover to get their lead back up to 8, and a non-dunk by Queta, who, man, I can't stand Queta. He's such an aggressive player who often fouls people, and because the Celtics are always, or the refs are always in the Celtics pockets, he gets away with so much contact. And this was definitely another aspect this game. And he's such an angry player. He doesn't need to be that angry. Like, he always is playing not so much as like there's a chip on his shoulder, but more of like he has some kind of personal issue with the other players. I don't know what it is, but he always seems to have a bad attitude. But that also got the Celtics up to 50. Then Denver's defense tightened up a little bit as Swatson shows up, gets his 3rd block of the night. This is already in the second quarter, and he already has 3 blocks, allowing Brodie to go on a fast break to cut the lead down to 1. Then Jaylen Brown flops. Not kidding you. He flops. Christian Braun barely touched him, but he went with the momentum that Christian Braun was, because when you're guarding a guy, you kind of have to touch him a little bit and push your hand up against him to give a little bit of a resistance. And he totally took that, and he fell over. The refs totally bought it, apparently. They didn't see anything wrong because, again, they're in the pocket of the Celtics. So they tag him with a foul, and they send Jaylen Brown to the free throw line for 2. He gets the lead back up to 3, and luckily PWat then answers back with sinking a 3 and tying the game up. It was a phenomenal comeback for the Nuggets in the second quarter here, and the Nuggets actually outscored the Celtics 32-20 to to take the second quarter and tie the game. Like, what an answer back of a quarter after losing by 12. Then you answer back and win by 12. Now we're tied. Now the game's getting interesting. Third quarter comes with the Nuggets turning over the ball, but then quickly shifted because the Celtics weren't able to capitalize on the turnover. And CB actually, on a fast break layup, gave Denver the first lead of the night since the first quarter, and also the first points of the second half. So the Celtics then countered with a run to go up by 6, and the Nuggets answered tying the game with a CB 3-pointer, which was, again, awesome. Needed him when he showed up. And he actually had a very quiet first half. And he was, I feel like, benched a lot more than he should have been tonight. But he was able to get that 3, tying the game. And Nuggets offense becomes stagnant, though, as the Celtics get their lead back up to 6. Hauser then fouls MPJ. And it was completely a foul. I don't know why, but then the Celtics challenge this call and they win, and then they freaking get the possession back. So not only did Hauser legitimately foul MPJ should have gone to the foul line for 2. That didn't happen, and then because they're in the pocket of the Celtics, they award the Celtics the ball. They shouldn't have gotten the ball. If at very worst, it should have been a jump ball, but it wasn't, because no one had the ball at the end of when the whistle was called. No one had the ball, and yet they still gave it to the Celtics. It was so freaking stupid. And if you actually go back to that play, it was last touched by the Celtics before it went out of bounds. So why would you award it to the Celtics when it was out of bounds on them? Like, this is the kind of shit that I talk about, that I can't stand the Celtics. They cheat their way to wins. It's not legitimate. Their wins are not legitimate, and they only have 6 championships, because nothing before 1980 counts. I cannot stand the Celtics. But let's continue here through this. Like, I'm telling you, this game was so against the Nuggets. And so they get the possession of the ball. This allowed the Celtics to sink back-to-back threes, extending their lead. Jamal and PWat helped to get the lead down to 3, but a stupid forced foul from DJ now. Like, there was actual fouls on the Nuggets that were legitimate. I will definitely, give up that. Like, they definitely did foul at times, but the amount of fouls and the amount of turnovers that were done was not completely on the Nuggets. That was that was really also added by the refs themselves. They definitely had an agenda against the Nuggets on this one. But in this specific play, DJ caused a foul on Porzingis. Don't know why he did it. They still they didn't have a foul to give, essentially, was what I'm trying to say. They didn't have a foul to give, and yet he still fouled him intentionally. And so then Porzingis goes to the line and gets the lead back up to 5. Despite the Nuggets' best efforts, the Celtics secured the third quarter 31-26. And now we get into the fourth quarter. And of course, Celtics start off with the ball. So Nuggets start the quarter off by fouling Porzingis. And Malone challenges it and was successful. And yet the Celtics got the ball back again. It's like, why? Why do the refs always have the Celtics in favor? Boston, you can never, ever say that the refs are against you ever again. I don't even care if it's blatant that they're against you. You don't deserve to say that the refs are against you ever again. Like, this was such egregious officiating in this game. Really stupid. And the fact that you packed the freaking arena as well, like that, like, just horrible cheat kind of fans and a league there, or ball club that I can't stand them. So successfully, the Nuggets were successful. Celtics still got the ball. And then luckily Nuggets are able to force the Celtics to turnover, and Murray with a layup knocks the lead back down to 3. The lead back down to 3. We're in the fourth quarter right now, right? With no Jokić, no Aaron Gordon, and the lead has now gone back and forth between the two teams. And the Celtics were a fully healthy Celtics, with the one exception of Derek White. And then a 3 from Strawther actually ties the game. And then the lead then changes a handful of times more, with Hauser getting a 3, then CB sinking a 3. Like, it was the Celtics up 3, then it was tied. Then the Celtics up 3, then it was tied. And then the Nuggets got up, and then it was tied. Like, this shouldn't be happening for the Celtics in the fourth quarter against a Jokić-Less Nuggets. And yet it was happening. So clearly the Nuggets were doing a lot right. The Celtics then get the ball back on an out-of-bounds call. Again, this should have been a turnover and in favor of the Nuggets. The Nuggets should have had it. Brodie was trying to secure the ball, and Tatum legitimately pushed him. He pushed him, he fouled him, and it wasn't called. And so then now the Celtics have the ball, and and allowed the Celtics to be the first to go to 100. Then the most ridiculous part of the night, like, I can't even with this one. This was the most egregious part. And Boston, this is exactly the example of why you guys are so dirty and why I cannot stand Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown, feeling tired, seeing that the chances of the Jokić-Less Nuggets winning against them, can't stand it, and he kicks over a drink, a sideline drink. He actually kicks it onto the court, literally kicks it onto the court to stop play. He intentionally kicks someone's drink onto the court to stop play and have them clean it up so that the Celtics could take a break and catch their breath because they couldn't take the elevation. So they had to resort to cheap tricks to win this one. This was so stupid. And of course, in these kind of things, that kind of kills the Nuggets' momentum, and it definitely did, because then immediately Horford sinks a three, pushing the lead into double digits. Brodie wills the Nuggets back and gets the lead down from 15 to 8, but then the Nuggets finally get to 100. The Celtics keep complaining on plays and get the refs on their side for bad calls over bad calls. They get to the foul line even more. Tatum goes for 3, which he shouldn't have been because Jamal Murray definitely did not foul him, and yet the refs called a foul on him. He sends Jason Tatum to the foul line for 3. Like, stupid plays, gets the lead back up to 12. Despite Brodie's best effort to claw the Nuggets back to 8, and with that poor officiating, the Celtics actually are able to secure the game. Boston wins the fourth quarter 30-23 and secures the final victory 118-106. So they only won by 12. 12 was a consistent number throughout this game if you really pay attention. They won the first quarter by 12. We won by 12. Then they got up by 12 in the fourth quarter, and then they eventually win by 12. Like, it's a very consistent number, and it definitely was a theme throughout this game. But we're going to get in, like, I kind of feel like I already kind of gave a lot of my big takes, but we're still going to get into that later on. First of all, we're going to get into stats right after this. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. And we're back. All right, so stat time. So Christian Braun tonight played 28 minutes, had 12 points. So he was, again, back into the double digits. Good for him. We have he had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He was 5 for 10 from field goals, so 50%. Don't know why he only played 28 minutes when he was 50% from the field goal range. 2 for 5 from three-pointers, so he's starting to heat up now with three-pointers. Still only played 28. Don't know why he played 28. They got freaking Sarge out there at times, and even Zeke saw minutes tonight. Don't know why. And then he didn't go to the foul line at all, but he did have two turnovers, and he had 3 personal fouls. He was a minus 11. Michael Porter Jr., he had a good and a bad night. He did play 35 minutes tonight, almost 36. He had 15 points, 10 rebounds. He was the only Nugget to get a double-double tonight. He had 3 assists, 5 for 13 from field goals, 2 for 7 from three-pointers, 3 for 4 from free throws. He had one turnover, 1 personal foul, was a minus 16. Then we get to Dario Saric. Oh my God, this is so freaking embarrassing. I don't know why he's on the team. Like, he's probably a really nice dude, but he does not need to be the backup 5. Just give that to DeAndre, and then I guess, like, I feel like Zeke is probably the same, if not a little better than Sarge. So, like, give him more minutes, because we really don't have another backup 5. We have DeAndre Jordan, and then that's it. So Dario Saric, he played 16 minutes tonight. Like I said before, only 16 minutes. He was a starter, and he only played 16 minutes because Malone couldn't trust him enough, and I blame him. He had 0 points. 0 points as a starter. Dario Saric had 0 points. He had 1 rebound. 1. You are the starting center, and you only get 1 rebound. That's just freaking embarrassing and sad. Like, why? Why did we ever have to get Dario Saric? I just don't understand that. Like, you could have easily have gotten someone else to back up Jokić. He had 4 assists. I will give him that. That was the one thing that he did right tonight, was that there was a couple of Jokić-like assists that he did do, but it wasn't like a consistent thing. There was only 4. And so despite, like, you had 4 great ones, Jokić normally has like 15 great ones in a night. So, like, if you really want to have a backup, you need to be at least into like 7 or 9 great assists. He had 1 block, and then he was 0 for 2 from field goals. He was 0 for 1 from 3, and he had 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. He was a minus 7. You have Michael Porter Jr., who was a minus 16, and you have Dario Saric a minus 7. Dario Saric's defense was horrible tonight. Horrible. They were getting whatever they wanted when he was on the court, and yet he's a minus 7. That doesn't check out for me. Then we get to Brodie. 33 minutes. He got 26 points. He was the leading Nugget scorer tonight. He almost got a double-double and kind of almost a triple-double tonight. I was really hoping he would at least get that, like that we would have some kind of thing to celebrate that. Oh, yeah, Brodie got another double-double or triple-double. So he got 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. So Westbrook is getting more rebounds than our starting center for tonight. Which you kind of expect from Westbrook. He is normally a really good rebounder. I mean, Porter has really gotten up there to be an amazing rebounder as well. I mean, he had 10. And so Westbrook had 9. He had 6 assists. He had 1 steal, 1 block. He was 9 for 18 from field goals, 50%. 4 for 9 and 3-pointers, 44%. 4 for 5 and free throws, and the 5th one, that one that was missed, he actually intentionally missed it, and it was a great play by Brodie because he went to the foul line, he shot one, made it, and then he shot another one. He intentionally missed it. He got the ball back for the Nuggets, went back to the free throw line, and sunk 2 more free throws. So he actually got 3 points within free throws. It was a really smart play from him. And so he easily could have had 5 for 5 tonight in free throws, but again, he missed one intentionally. He did have 8 turnovers, the most out of any of the Nuggets, unfortunately. He did have 8, and he had 2 personal fouls. He was a minus 10. And we have Jamal Murray. He played 39 minutes tonight. He played the most amount of minutes out of the entire roster. Second was Porter Jr., and then Westbrook and Watson played the same amount of minutes tonight. So, but Murray, he made 19 points tonight. It seemed like he had like a roller coaster of a night. Like, he started off really well on the first couple of minutes of the game. And then he kind of started to slink off with offense, but his defense was always locked in tonight. He had a really good defensive night, which is why I think that the Celtics only got 118 and not more. So he had 19 points, though. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 2 amazing steals. He was 8 for 17 from field goals. So even though he was having kind of an off night, he was only 3% behind Westbrook, 1 for 5 from 3-pointers, and that's where it was kind of an issue. He only made 1 3-pointer, and that was at the beginning of the game. Not very much like the Murray that we know. But he did make 2 of 2 for free throws. He had only 1 turnover tonight, and then he had 3 personal fouls. He was a -3 tonight. So this was not Jamal Murray's fault for us losing. This was, again, 100% other aspects of the game, though I will also say the defense was inconsistent throughout the night. The second quarter was by far our best quarter overall. And you could say there was times in the third and fourth that we played good stretches of defense, but it wasn't for the entire quarter. So bench-wise, not much really to say about the bench as usual, except for 2 players that I want to talk about here. Peyton Watson played 33 minutes tonight, made 14 points, had 4 rebounds. He had 1 steal and 4 blocks tonight, everyone. He was Swatson. Like, come on now. If he was more consistent, I bet you he would definitely give all the top defenders in the league right now a run for their money. He is really good defensively, and if he can amp that up even more, he's going to be phenomenal. I mean, he already is phenomenal for us. But he had 5 for 9 in field goals, 2 for 3 in 3-pointers, 2 for 2 in free throws, 1 turnover, 3 personal fouls, was a -3. And then the other bench player I want to talk about was Julian Strawther. So he played 26 minutes tonight. He should have played actually a little bit more because he had a good night. So if you remember, Murray made 19 points. Strawther also made 19 points. So that's where I'm a little conflicted on Murray, is that he made the same amount of points as one of our bench players, a third-year bench player, or second-year bench player. Like, what are you doing? Murray should have been at 26 points or 30 points. This should have been a 30-point game for Murray. Easily 30 points. Amazing night for Strawther, though, making 19 points. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He was 8 for 15 from field goals. He was 3 for 6 from 3-pointers, and then 2 for 2 from free throws. He 3 for 6 from 3-pointers, 0 for 0 because he didn't go to the foul line at all. But he had 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. It was a -3. So, that's pretty much all I really need to go into with bench, because the rest of it is kind of garbage. But then let's get into the overall stats, right? So overall stats, we have the Nuggets had 39 rebounds to Boston's 41. They only had 2 more rebounds than us, so they didn't out-rebound us by much. We had 22 assists to their 30. Now, we all know that number would have greatly enhanced had Jokić been on the floor. Even if Aaron Gordon had been on the floor, I feel like we would have gotten more assists, because Gordon has been able to assist fairly well as also. So still, that's only 8 assists is different. So still not a lot of blowout there. We had 6 steals to their 11. That was a little bit unfortunate. And then we had 6 blocks to their 7. And not one of their players had more than 2 blocks. So the fact that we have Peyton Watson with 4 blocks, let's go. And I'm sure had Jokić been on the floor, he would have gotten the block. So, all things to consider here. We shot 46% from field goals. They shot 50, only 4% higher. We shot 38% from three-pointers. They shot 34, and that was a really awkward or weird thing, and even they were talking about it and during the game, is the fact that coming into this game, the Celtics were number one in 3 points made, and Nuggets were last in 3 points made, and then the paint points, the Celtics were last in the paint points, and Nuggets were first in the paint points. But then this game flipped that script, and the Celtics had more paint points tonight than the Nuggets did, and the Nuggets had more 3-point points than the Celtics did. Like, that was really weird. And then the Nuggets had 80% from free throws. They had 90, only 10% more. You know, it wasn't like a huge blowout there either. We had 16 turnovers to their 11, and then 17 personal fouls to their 13. So already there you can see that it was a biased game when we have more personal fouls than they do. And some of that should have easily have been, if anything, even if not with Celtics having more personal fouls, because there was so many other fouls that they missed on the Celtics. Tatum pushing Westbrook. There was a foul with, I think it was Hauser touching Strawther's arm as he was going up for a layup. That wasn't called. But then on the other end, you have Murray barely touching Tatum's arm, and they call that a foul and send him for 3. Like, it was super inconsistent, super biased. But we'll get into that when I get into big takeaways after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. All right, so major takeaway is this was a game that the Celtics couldn't even win against the Jokić-Less Nuggets fairly. I've already kind of been over this throughout the episode already, but I just want to stress this very, very much. The Celtics couldn't win against a Jokić-Less Nuggets fairly. The refs gave them way too much of an advantage, and when they felt they were they weren't being attended to enough, then they would start to complain and complain until they got what they wanted. The game was once again very packed with Boston people. Like that's one of the things that the Boston does to kind of cheat in their games. They pack the Colorado venues. This wasn't the first home game that they've done that. They've done that every Nuggets game. They've done that every Avs game. They've done that every Rockies game. They've done that every Broncos game. They just like to pack the Colorado venues. I don't know why. They don't do that to more teams, but they only do it specifically to Colorado. I don't know why there's so many Bostonians or Bostonites in Colorado. It's really mind-boggling why there are so many there. Like, just go back to Boston. There's no need to go to Colorado. And if you are in Colorado, maybe start to cheer for the Colorado teams more, not the Boston ones. If you really prefer to live in Colorado, don't cheer for your Boston teams anymore, you know? If anyone watching this knows why there's so many Boston people in Colorado, please let me know in the comment section here. But then also, it was amazing to see how much the Nuggets took it to the Celtics. This is another thing I really want to stress. The Jokić-Less, Aaron Gordon-less Nuggets took it to the Celtics, who everyone is still thinking is going to win another chip. And the Nuggets held the Celtics down, and they only won that by 12 points. This wasn't a blowout game. And for the majority of the game, this was very close. Nuggets had leads in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter. We had leads. So this was not by any match or any standing point a blowout game. And the Nuggets nearly beat them with no Jokić and, again, no Aaron Gordon. Celtics didn't blow them out. They only won by 12. So Nuggets Nation, we got to feel better about the Nuggets after this game. They definitely played hard. I know it sucks that they won, but you got to be happy about this team standing on business, essentially, and really playing hard. We haven't seen them play this hard, and they played like they actually wanted to win. And I know Jamal Murray was actually really upset that they lost because they did really want to win this one. And so I hope that fuels them for the next coming games. And I know that the next time we face the Celtics will be in Boston this time, and Jokić will be with us, so we will be splitting this series. Jokić is not going to let us lose against the Celtics twice in a season. And a little fun stat for you is that the Celtics haven't beaten Jokić in over 2 years. So that streak still continues because Jokić wasn't there tonight. So you can't count that as a win against Jokić. I know that they won in the preseason, but not in regular season. So, and preseason doesn't count, right? So, but yes, the Nuggets could have played harder tonight, but they still took it to them by not even having maximum effort. Imagine if the Nuggets had maximum effort tonight. This would have been an upset, and we would have been cheering because we defeated a dirty Celtics team. Despite all their tactics, we almost won. So Celtics still can't play fair, and we almost still won without Jokić, without Aaron Gordon. That says a lot. So I love this team. I love the Nuggets. Go Nuggets. What does it mean for the Nuggets that we lost? Well, we had to wait for a couple of games also to happen, and luckily, the two teams behind us are the Lakers and the Mavericks. And before today, it was us at the 4th seed, Lakers on the 5th seed, Mavs at the 6th seed, and the Lakers and Mavs faced off tonight in the game right before the Celtics and Nuggets did. So the Mavericks actually upset the Lakers because the Mavericks have a very hurt team right now. They have no Kyrie Irving. They have no Luka. They have no Daniel Gafford. And so they were limping into that matchup, and they still won, which just says a lot about the Lakers right now. And I love it. And so with that, they actually swapped seeds there. And now Dallas is in the 5th seed. Lakers are on the 6th seed, and we are barely holding on to that 4th seed still. So we definitely 100% need a win tomorrow night against the Clippers. Otherwise, we will drop down then to the 7th seed because the Clippers right now are a 20-16. Denver is a 20-15 win-loss ratio there. And so if the Clippers win, that will put them 21-16, which will then have them tied with Dallas. And so those two will be 4th and 5th. And we, if we lose tomorrow, we'll be tied with the Lakers. And so actually we might be the 6th seed if that happens, and the Lakers will be the 7th seed. So, but we definitely need to win. Let's not even think about losing. We need to win. We definitely need to win. And so we are barely holding on to that 4th seed. And then again, still Memphis has the 3rd seed, Houston with the 2nd seed, and OKC still running with 15 freaking winning streak. And now tomorrow they're going to be facing actually the Cavs. So the 1 seeds are facing off tomorrow, which will be an interesting game. I'm rooting for the Cavs there. A lot of stuff happened. So the Nuggets now have tomorrow. They're playing again tomorrow, like I said, against the Clippers. And this is going to be a difficult one, especially if Jokić is not in the lineup tomorrow as well, because Kawhi Leonard is back. And so now we're facing a fully healthy Clippers, and we have no Jokić and no Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon hopefully is coming back soon. They're saying that maybe within the next couple of games, so he'll probably be back for definitely the Dallas games, hopefully. Maybe the Friday's game against the Brooklyn Nets when they come to Denver, but who knows right now? But he seems to be getting close now to coming back, and then Jokić. It just all depends on how well he's feeling, and hopefully, he takes some major good drugs or whatever, gets him all nice and healthy again. And ready to rock it against Kawhi and Harden, because we can't let Harden win tomorrow. We can't. There's him and Powell, Norman Powell. They can't win against us. We need to tie that series up. So because that's another thing is because of. I was really hoping that the Celtics or the Nuggets would beat the Celtics tonight. I would rather have that win than the win against the Clippers, but now that we've definitely lost against the Celtics, we definitely need to win against the Clippers. The Clippers have won 2 out of the 3 matchups so far. This is the last time during the regular season that we will be facing the Clippers. And so if we win tomorrow, we will tie the matchup with 2-2. And so let's hope that happens. The good thing about the Nuggets is we definitely always play better on the second game on end of a back-to-back. We have the best ratio of that. And they hate losing so much, though, that when they do lose, they bounce back with even harder, which is kind of what I was already saying when the Celtics lost against OKC. I already knew that they would be playing harder. And this is exactly what I feared, that they would win against the Celtics or the Nuggets, and they did. So hopefully now we can take it and let the Clippers pay for our loss tonight. So that's pretty much all I got tonight for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow night again with the analysis of the Clipper game. So catch me back then, probably a little. Actually, I think it'll be a little earlier because that's an earlier game. This was definitely a late game, and it's also on TNT, so there's a lot to watch and everything. Make sure that I'm all up to date on everything. So tomorrow it will be probably a little earlier, and we'll get it. So hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll catch you tomorrow.